Buddha's noble truth says that people are unhappy everywhere and that suffering comes from our craving for more and from our fear of losing what we have. He also said that there is a solution to mass human suffering and that it is rooted in one's internal state of mind. Everybody wants to be free and happy, but they are not. This is not because it is impossible to be free and happy, but because they are going in the wrong direction. As they are going in the wrong direction, they can't reach their destination no matter how steadfastly they walk. People in the world consider the good feelings they have when things go their way to happiness. They consider the bad feeling they have when things do not go their way to be unhappiness, and they think that doing whatever they want is freedom and not doing what they want is bondage. These are ordinary people's concept of happiness and freedom. However, in real life, these values cannot be realized. When your desires are fulfilled, you feel joy briefly, but when your desires are not fulfilled, you suffer. As there is no end to desire, you experience joy and suffering repeatedly. The Buddha said that this never ending cycle of joy and suffering is inevitable contradiction and limit of human life. Joy and suffering cannot be divided. Yesterday's suffering can turn into today's joy, and today's joy can turn into tomorrow's suffering. Since people don't know this principle, they want to live in a world that is filled with joy and devoid of suffering, thinking that it is possible to live in such a world. However, this is not possible in real life, and so they wish to be born in such a world after they die. Therefore, every religion has an ideal world called heaven or paradise. The level of consumption in modern society is even higher than that which is supposedly provided by the ideal world, the heaven that people dreamed of in the past. But we have greater desires now, so we often consider our life conditions to be no better than hell. We can't see this contradiction because we only see what we want to achieve, thinking that they are unhappy because their abilities or efforts are not sufficient. People try to get what they want by asking a powerful third party. As a result, religions that contains elements of asking for help from Almighty God came to exist. The Buddha investigated how to solve this problem in depth. He discovered that the root cause of this never-ending cycle of joy and suffering is desire. When your desires are fulfilled, you feel joy. When your desires are not fulfilled, you suffer. But once you are free from desire, joy and suffering also disappear. The cycle of joy and suffering ends, but people can't even imagine being free from desire. People can think of only two ways to respond to desire: surrendering or resisting. In the West, these two ways were expressed, and in India, they were expressed as hedonism and ecstatism. The Buddha experienced ultimate pleasure and ultimate self-mortification and found that neither is the right way toward liberation and nirvana. He discovered a third path, the middle way. He followed the middle way and attained liberation and nirvana. The middle way is just recognizing desire instead of following or suppressing. When you follow desire, consequences follow, and when you suppress desire, you become stressed. People suppress desire because following it will result in loss, but suppressing it leads to frustration and eventually to an explosion. Explosions result in loss again, so they suppress it and then explode again. This cycle is repeated constantly. However, simply recognizing desire is not to respond to it at all, neither following nor suppressing. True freedom is to be free from desire by recognizing it. Then, from where does desire arise? The root of desire is karma. When your karma comes into contact with an external situation, a feeling arises, and based on that feeling, a desire arises. Each person has different karma, so each person has different desires. Some people have a strong desire for money, whereas others have no desire for money. Some people have strong desire for food, whereas others don't care much about food and they can eat anything offered, like an ascetic. Different people have different desires. This gives us hope because although it seems impossible for humans to be free from desire, even ordinary people are free from some desires. Therefore, we can see that becoming free from desire is not impossible and anyone can do it. We seem to live our life, but in fact, our life is the automatic reaction of our karma. Based on each reaction, a desire arises within us and then we act on the desire. In other words, our life is like a perpetual repetition of karma and desire. People think that they are unhappy because of some external circumstances, but this is only a secondary and partial reason. When we are free from desire, we seldom suffer or feel fettered. Then how can we be free from our desires and karma? We meditate to achieve this freedom. However, wanting to be free from desire while eating whatever you want to eat, lying down when you want to lie down, and doing whatever you want to do is contradictory. In addition to our desires for food and sleep, we have other serious karma. Even if we are free from our desires for food and sleep, attaining liberation will be difficult. As such, wishing for liberation without even achieving this much is contradictory. Even if there are no restriction on food, I recommend that you decide, I will eat a little because I won't need much energy while meditating. And even if there is no restriction on lying down, I recommend that you decide, I will lie down only during the designated hours while I am participating in the practice to be free from desire. If you decide like this, voluntarily you won't feel restricted. I hope you liked the video. Please subscribe to our channel for more informative, life-changing videos. Thank you.